Your phone vibrates. 2:14 a.m. The blue light cuts through the darkness of your bedroom, stinging your eyes. It's a message from her. One sentence. 5 words that feel like a slap in the face. I don't think you care. Your heart rate spikes. Your thumbs are already hovering over the screen. You're ready to defend yourself. You want to explain, to argue, to prove her wrong. You want to tell her about the overtime you worked, the dinner you planned, the way you've been showing up every single day. Stop. That urge to defend? That's not strength. It's a leash. And she just pulled it. Most men think that reacting proves they care. They believe that a passionate defense shows strength. They are wrong, dead wrong. Reaction is not power. Reaction is surrender. When you react to her chaos, you validate her chaos. You become a passenger in a car she is driving off a cliff. Meet Mark. Mark is a good man. He's hardworking. He's loyal. But Mark has a fatal flaw. He is a prisoner of the immediate. When she goes cold, he gets hot. When she gets loud, he gets desperate. He thinks that by speaking more, he can regain control. But the more Mark speaks, the less he is heard. The more he reacts, the less he is respected. He is playing a game where the only way to win is to refuse to move his piece. In the next 10 minutes, we're going to look at the Stoic secret that separates the boys who react from the men who lead. Because there is a specific reason she wants you to lose your cool, a reason deeply buried in her biology and her psychology. But first, you need to understand the biology of the bait. Why does the trap look so much like an invitation? And why is your silence the only thing she's actually looking for? Mark is still staring at his screen. The silence in his room feels heavy, but the noise in his head is deafening. He thinks if he just explains himself, the tension will go away. He is wrong. The tension is the point. In the wild, a predator watches for movement. In a relationship, a woman watches for a reaction. This is the architecture of the test. It is a biological necessity. She needs to know if your foundation is made of rock or sand. Because if she can knock you off balance with a single text message, how will you handle a real crisis? How will you handle a lost job? A family tragedy? A threat to your home? If you crumble under the weight of her mood, she cannot lean on you. And if she cannot lean on you, she cannot love you. She might stay, but she will not follow. Every reaction you give is a confession of weakness. It tells her that she has more power over your emotions than you do. She pulls a string. You dance. She pushes a button. You explode. To her, this is terrifying. She wants a leader, not a mirror. When she is emotional, she needs you to be the shore that the waves break against. The shore does not move. The shore does not argue with the tide. The shore simply exists. But modern culture has lied to you. It told you that communication is always the answer. It told you that being vulnerable means sharing every insecurity in real time. That is a lie. Vulnerability without strength is just fragility. And fragility is the death of attraction. This is where the cycle begins. Mark reacts. She loses respect. Because she lost respect, she tests him harder. Because she tests him harder, Mark reacts more desperately. It is a downward spiral into a graveyard of dead relationships. But then there is Leo. Leo sees the world through a different lens. He sees the provocation for what it really is. A question. She is not saying, "I hate you." She is asking, "Are you still there? Are you still the man I thought you were? Are you strong enough to handle me?" Leo answers that question without saying a single word. He puts the phone down. He goes back to sleep. Or he continues his work. He does not ignore her out of spite. He ignores the test because he is focused on his mission. He is the captain of a ship that does not change course for a light breeze. This is not manipulation. This is emotional gravity. The larger the object, the more gravity it has. The less you move, the more she is pulled toward you. But building this gravity is not easy. It requires you to kill the part of yourself that needs her validation. It requires you to enter the Stoic Citadel. And inside that citadel, there is a secret weapon that most men are too afraid to use. A weapon that can end a fight before it even begins. Leo is sitting at his desk. The room is quiet. The only sound is his own slow breathing. He sees the screen of his phone light up. The text is sharp. It is designed to hurt. It is designed to provoke. It is designed to pull him out of his silence and into her chaos. Mark would have typed a paragraph by now. Mark would be pacing the room right now. He would feel the heat in his chest and the sweat on his palms. But Leo is different, very different. He feels the heat. He feels the sting of the words. But he does not move a muscle. He is entering the Stoic Citadel. This is not a physical place. It is a mental state, a fortress where the walls are made of logic and the floor is made of iron. Inside this citadel, there is a gap, a sacred space between the stimulus and the response. In this gap lies your freedom. In this gap lies your power. Most men live their entire lives without ever finding this gap. They are like electrical wires. You touch them and they spark. You hit them and they break. But Leo has built a buffer. He watches the anger rise like a dark wave. He does not fight the wave. He does not ride the wave. He simply watches it crash against the cold walls of his citadel. He knows that his peace is a choice. He knows that she is not the enemy. The enemy is his own lack of control. He understands that a high-value man is not a man who has no emotions. He is a man who is not ruled by them. This is the difference between a king and a commoner. A king decides. A commoner reacts. By choosing silence, Leo is not being passive. He is being calculated. He is reclaiming his time. He is reclaiming his energy. He is showing her without saying a single word that his world does not rotate around her whims. This is the silence that creates attraction. It is the silence of a man who knows his own worth. A man who does not need to explain why he is valuable. Because if you have to explain it, you have already lost. The minute you start defending yourself, you are in a lower position. You are a suspect pleading with a judge. You are a child explaining himself to a parent. Leo is the judge. He does not plead. He observes, and he waits. But there is a specific type of silence that goes beyond just not speaking. A silence that communicates more than 1,000 words ever could. It is called the silent authority. And if you master it, you will never have to win an argument again. Because the argument will simply cease to exist. But how do you project this authority when the air is thick with tension? How do you use your body to say what your mouth refuses to? She is standing right in front of you now. This is not a text message anymore. This is real. This is raw. Her voice is rising. Her hands are moving. She is throwing words at you like stones. She is waiting for the explosion. She is waiting for you to hit back with your own words. Because if you fight her, she knows where you are. If you yell back, she has successfully dragged you into her storm. Mark is here too. In this situation, Mark is a mess. His eyes are darting. He is looking at the floor, then at the ceiling. He is shifting his weight from one foot to the other. He is leaking energy from every pore of his body. He starts talking before she even finishes her sentence. He says, "I am just trying to explain." He says, "You are being unfair." He says, "Why are you doing this?" Mark is noisy, and because he is noisy, he is small. But look at Leo. Leo is still, perfectly still. He is not looking away. He is not looking down. He is looking right at her. But he is not staring with anger. He is looking with curiosity, like a scientist watching a chemical reaction. He is breathing through his nose, slow, deep, controlled. This is the silent authority. It is the power of the mountain. The wind blows, the rain falls, the lightning strikes. But the mountain does not negotiate with the weather. The mountain just stays. When you refuse to speak, you create a vacuum. And nature hates a vacuum. When you stay silent, she will try to fill that silence. She will talk more. She will get louder. She might even get meaner. Stay still. Do not lean in. Do not cross your arms. Do not clench your jaw. If you clench your jaw, you are struggling. If you are struggling, you are losing. You must be comfortable in the tension. You must own the silence. Most men break after 3 seconds of silence. They feel the need to fix it. They feel the need to apologize for things they did not do, just to make the noise stop. Leo does not break. He waits 1 second, 2 seconds, 5 seconds. The shift is subtle but violent. Suddenly she is the one who feels uncomfortable. She is the one who feels like she is overreacting. She looks at him and sees a mirror. She sees her own chaos reflected in his calm. And she realizes that she cannot move him. This is the moment of the flip. This is where the power moves across the room. She was the one testing you. Now you are the one observing her. The roles have reversed. You are the leader now. Not because you won an argument, but because you were too big to be in one. But there is a final step, a way to close this loop that ensures she never takes your peace for granted again. It is a transformation that goes beyond the relationship. It is about who you become when the lights go out. Because the ultimate reason you should not react is not about her at all. It is about the man you see when you look in the mirror. Mark is still awake. His room is a mess. His phone is a weapon that is turned against him. He feels drained because he gave his power away for free. He thought he was fighting for love. He was actually fighting for scraps of attention. He is a ghost of the man he used to be. Exhausted, empty, small. Now look at Leo. Leo is not just silent. He is satisfied. He understands that his worth is not a variable that depends on a text message. It is a constant. He did not win her respect by arguing. He won himself back. And that is the ultimate source of attraction. This is the transformation from the reactive boy to the sovereign man. It is the moment you realize that your internal state is your own responsibility. No one can make you feel angry without your consent. No one can pull you into their storm unless you choose to pick up an oar. In the modern world, everything is designed to make you react. The news, the notifications, the social media comments, they are all fishing for your energy. They want you to bite the hook so they can reel you in. But a Stoic knows that his energy is his most precious resource. He does not spend it on things he cannot control. By refusing to react first, you're not being cold. You are being clear. You are setting a boundary that says, my peace is not for sale. You are telling her and the world that you are the captain of your soul. This creates a vacuum of strength that she can finally trust. She no longer has to be the one in charge because she has found a man who can lead himself. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. In your case, the best response is to be unlike the man who needs to be heard. You do not need to explain your value to someone who is trying to devalue you. Your silence is the explanation. Your calm is the proof. This journey does not end when the video stops. It begins the next time your phone vibrates. It begins when your heart starts to race and your ego demands to be defended. In that moment, remember Mark. Remember the exhaustion of being a puppet. Then remember Leo. Remember the power of the gap. The man who cannot be moved is the only man who can move the world. Your silence is not a lack of words. It is the presence of an unshakable foundation. Build your citadel. Master your silence. Lead your life. The choice is yours.